Today I'm going to be talking about being a mom and raising teenagers, raising children. And what is our job as parents? Bring up our children in the way of the Lord so that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. There'll be a time when we teach and we train kids. And you know how it is in today's world, raising teenagers. There's so many distractions that we didn't have when we were young. Now they have phones, they have iPads, they have so many devices that are outlets of feeding them. They're taking their time away from spending time with God, spending time with, just communicating with other friends. Even if you go to functions, you see all your children. I mean, they're all on the devices on the phone the whole time, and they're showing each other what's on the phone, but they're not really connecting anymore. So I'm making this video because as a mom, I wanted moms and other adults to get together. We want to take back our children from these devices. We want to take them back from all this stuff. Devices are good in the sense that, if you need to reach your child in emergency or you need to tell them something, fine. But when they're spending so many hours a day on it, and I have family sharing on iPad, which allows you to monitor how much time they spend on all these different medias, like social media like Snapchat, or if they're spending time on YouTube or Instagram, you can limit the hours, but still they have this strong desire to be on that device. Even for the little time that you give them, I still see that they have this addiction to these devices. So I wanted to be out there and start raising the conversation of how do we get our children back? How do we get them back to having conversations, communicating, and enjoying social interactions, relationships, learning how to communicate, learning how to interact with others, their peers, adults, and such. So I have a couple of ideas, and I want to see what else is out there, and then let's work together to put it in place. So one of the things I do with my children is before they go to bed at night, I make sure the devices are turned in, and I have a cutoff at 9 o'clock. It doesn't have to be 9 for everybody. Depends on how old your kids are and what you're comfortable with, but they do not go to bed with their devices. There's no devices in the room. Sleep is very important, even as for adults. Sleep is a time for rest, a time to calm your mind, and also a time for your body to regenerate and fight illnesses, and be so that when they wake up in the morning, they're ready for school, they're ready to perform whatever they need to do. So it's very important that during that nighttime they don't have devices. The other thing I wanted to create was, me and my husband will be doing together playing board games, whatever board games that you guys like. We like Monopoly and Ludo, and it's just take their time away from the devices, and it's a time for laughter. It's a time for engaging and learning what's going on. And the other thing is try to eating together. When you eat together, you don't say, "Oh, put the devices away," because then you're focusing on the devices again. Oh, let's play a game, and they will come up and tell you what game they want to play. For instance, if we're eating, we'll say we're going to play a game where the person has to guess what it is, and everybody else on the table will know what it is, and the person has to guess what it is without saying the word. Or also name, we just do things like, okay, we're going to name a fruit from A to Z. Whatever it is that you can do to get them away from the device without making them think of the device, those are the things that we can do as mothers and parents. And the other thing is also creating a safe space where teenagers can go and talk about what's going on with their day, what they're facing with other people, their age groups, and doing some fun games in there, like maybe have ping pong, maybe have frisbee, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be some extravagant stuff, but it can be as simple as playing outside with a bunch of their children and creating that safe space where the phone is not there. So I'm not to say they're not going to spend time on the device, but you can start taking that time back away from the device where they can have fun learning other things. And they need to learn how to interact with people. They're going to go to work. They need to get away from instant gratification. So I want to raise that conversation. I want to hear what your ideas are to do and how we can claim our children back. So please feel free to share comments with me, and I'll make more videos on this topic.